Hello, and welcome back to Bees and Tea Stitching. I am Seb, your host. Um, Selena is over here to the side. She's being antisocial, as usual, as cats are wont to be. Hi, it's been a while, so I apologize if I'm a tiny bit, rusty at this, but, it has been a few weeks, and, I appreciate all you guys, sticking in with me. In fact, I think I actually grew a few people, which is awesome. So, definitely welcome to you new people, and obviously welcome to you guys who have been here, because you guys are my backbone, and it's awesome. Um, yeah, hi. First off, let me, start off with my tea. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. And then, let's see if I can do this without spilling. There we go. Otto is my co-pilot. So, if oh, it actually says, okay, so we'll see. If you know what it is, it's cool, but never mind, it actually says over here, so, yeah, airplane. So, hold on. Okay, that's good. So, and I'll kind of talk about this. I might, put this in here. So, as you guys may know, I was off at Stitch-Con for a weekend, and then I spent a week with my friends in Pittsburgh. So that's why I haven't been here for a while. And while I was in Cincinnati, there is a super cool grocery store. Actually, calling it a grocery store is really not even fair. It's an experience. It's a place called Jungle Gyms, and it's several 100,000 square feet. Where it's huge. I mean, it's like warehouse sized, full of foods from all over the world, and it's got these really big, cool, ugly displays of, like, over the English section there was Robin Hood and just all sorts of crazy things, and it was like animatronics, and it's really neat. And so they have stuff you can't find anywhere else. And of course, I mean, I got some other things, and I wasn't planning on going over the food. Unless you guys want me to, I have a bag of food back there. I can just do a little extra video for it. I haven't eaten, I've only eaten a little bit of it so far, so most of it I still have. But if you want me to, I can. So, just tell me. But anyway, so of course I had to go back to the English section, of course. And of course I had to get some teas. Duh. And one of the teas I got, of course, was an Ahmed tea, and it was mango and lychee. But what I didn't realize is this was a green tea. The other ones I grabbed were black teas, which was black currant and peach passion fruit, I believe. Anyway, I'd have to go check. But anyway, so I didn't realize this was a green tea. I'm not usually a fan of green teas, so when I saw that, I was back there, back in the kitchen, back that direction, um, making it. I'm like, oh crap! I wonder if I got a bad box. But I didn't want to have any prejudices just because it's a green tea. But honestly, it's really good. I mean, you definitely taste, is it the, yeah, mango and lychee. Honestly, the lychee is a lot stronger flavor than the mango. I have a black lychee tea, that somebody actually gave me from some Chinese or some sort of hold on, sorry, some sort of Eastern store, and because it actually has Chinese writing on it. And it's really good, but the lychee flavor is very strong. And that's not a bad thing. I like the lychee flavor. Uh, and I also have lychee gummies that are Japanese. Those are really good too. But yeah, so lychee. And so yeah, that's great that it's a green tea that I like. I was afraid. I was like, what am I gonna do with the whole box if I don't like it? But you know what? I like it. Even though it doesn't have caffeine, meh. Oh well. But yeah, so I might talk about Jungle Gyms a little bit more once I kind of go through everything. I am going to say buckle in. This is going to be a long one. I might not necessarily show absolutely everything. Let's see if I can kind of, yeah, I've got piles over here. So, So I may not necessarily show absolutely everything. I'm just going to kind of see how the time goes. But this could be a bit long, because I also obviously want to talk about the convention and probably a little bit about Pittsburgh. Um, so yeah, hopefully this will be good. Hopefully my computer will not blue screen. I apologize for the two-parter last time. I was trying to do a whip parade, or I should say a kiddie parade, um, and my computer blue screened while I was doing it, so I had to cut it into two pieces, and then apparently the first half of it just simply corrupted. I tried desperately, up until I was leaving the house, um, to get that going, and it was not working. So I'll just have to film it later. So I apologize for that. First off, I do absolutely want to do my comments. I'll try to go through them kind of quick. There's a few because obviously it's been a couple weeks. Um, but I always read them. I always respond. So again, I love comments. So please comment as long as it's constructive. I don't mind if it's negative as long as it's negatively constructive. But even honestly, I haven't even gotten that. So, I mean, I've just gotten the best comments. You guys are the best. That's all I can say. I mean, maybe I'm biased. I don't know, but whatever. But yeah. So anyway, let me go ahead and get those going here. Excuse me. Vicky Stitch Button says, Sebastian makes me think of Never Ending Story. Yeah, that was not my intention with my name. Somebody else actually, my best friend named me, my friend in Pittsburgh. And I don't think that was his intention either. But it's a classic movie, so hey, that's fine with me. She also said the Christmas pickle is hidden, and the person that finds it first gets a small present. I have it sitting right here. There we go. Because I don't remember if I actually remembered to show it before, but there we go. I have 4 nieces and nephews. From I think from 5 to 13. I think. So I might do it for them, but it's kind of too late for the 2 older ones that are like 13 and 11. So they're going to be too cool for it. So I mean, I might still do it for them just so they can at least put it on the tree, but. Yeah, I think it's kind of too little, too late with them. But I mean, I'm still gonna sew it either way. So we'll see. Thank you though. So Diane Duggan says, "Hey there, Seb. My wife closes her eyes when she's talking about something difficult, so you're looking down doesn't seem odd to me." I think I had talked about it last time, where sometimes I kind of look down, um, and I think I was maybe doing that during the video I was talking about my name. Um, and so she was just saying that her wife does that as well. So I do appreciate that. I do that as well sometimes. So I know where she's coming from on that one. Um, let's see. Oh, I love the pronoun pin. I belong to a community where we speak up about pronouns and identities regularly. That's very cool. Unfortunately, it's not that much, around where I am. But again, it is what it is. My pin is y'all means all. I need to find that pin. If you can send me a link to that or somewhere where I might be able to find it, I think I need to grab that. So that's pretty cool. All right. So Stitchy Pro says, "Welcome to the world, Sebastian." Thank you. I appreciate that. Proud of you for finding the courage to live your beautiful truth. Again, thank you. I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you again at Stitch-Con. Hopefully, one of these days, I'll already do at Penn's Crossing. Come to the Saturday stitching, darn it. Okay. Anyway, but no, seriously. I mean, I would love to hang out at Patton's Crossing. That's my LNS. But seriously, just come on a Saturday. I mean, I'm not usually there during the week, unless I just happen to pick something up. But on Saturday, I'm pretty much there all day, so it's a pretty good chance that you'll find me. In fact, I'll be there tomorrow, obviously. I'm filming this on Friday, the 25th of June. So if you guys are watching in the future, then that won't make any sense. But as I'm filming this, I'll be there tomorrow. So if you get to watch this in time, just saying. Anyway, thank you though. Marzipan Stitcher. Says, Hawk Run is so deceptive. Good progress. Love seeing Good Omens too. Um, yeah, I don't think I've worked on Good Omens since. Like, I have anything to show you on that one. But yeah, Hawk Run is absolutely deceptive. You look at the pattern and you're like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and then you start blocking out the blocks and start stitching in them, and you're like, holy crap, this is daunting. And I'm still just working on the first square out of how many? Let's see. Hold on, I can tell you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So first out of 12. Just So I am up here. Oh, I very much apologize for that. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm up in this one right here. And now obviously I'll show you, but I'm just doing the grass right now. So yeah, I got a long way to go on that one. I don't regret starting it, but it is very daunting, and it is going to take an extraordinarily, put that in my nose, extraordinarily long time to finish. So, oh, that tea is very, very good. All right. Salty Citrus says, "Hi, Sebastian. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." X-Ray Citrus says, "You really got nice progress this week. Thank you for the. I really love the Taz mug. Thank you. The Taz mug is one of the oldest things that I own. I either got it while I was in high school or in college. The date on the bottom says 1993, and that's actually, might as well age myself on this one. That's actually when I was going from high school to college. So yeah, that mug is almost 30 years old. That's kind of scary, actually. It's older than all of my nephews by far. So yeah, it's more than double age. Anyway, but I do love that mug, and I'm honestly surprised in all the moves I've made, to college and back, to Florida and back, and couple, apartments and houses. It's, for some miracle, has still survived. So I will be really, really sad if anything ever happens to it. I know this one is probably from like 80 or 81, although I've only had it for, I don't know, probably not even a year. So, Anyway, Carolina, yay, my buddy. Um, oh, she was asking why I would lose people. 'Cause I was saying in my name video about, how I was afraid, I would lose people because not everybody's open-minded, but honestly, every single person in here has been nothing but wonderful. I've got nothing but positive, um, answers from. It's just crazy. It's been amazing that people have just been so positive about this, and I guess I was kind of expecting the worst, hoping for the best, and honestly, pretty much the best happened to be. I can't really say anything other than that. Mm. Um, and she also said that she was working on a unicorn, like a dark style unicorn. So if you can respond, I'm kind of curious as to what the pattern is. I've seen other unicorn patterns, but most of them are, either tapestry sort of things. So I'm curious as to what kind of dark style you're talking about. So yeah, post that if you can. Um, so and she'd also mentioned about the part two. Yeah, again, I apologize for that. That just it was just an unlucky thing that happened with my computer. So, and that's all I can say with that one, unfortunately. Um, she also said that the hedgehog kit was so cute. Thank you. All your projects are amazing. Now chop chop finish them. Um, I'm working on it. I actually have a whole under the bed box. It's we're not supposed to call it a box of shame anymore, I was told. But the problem is I just don't have the wall space to be able to put. You can kind of see behind me, you know, things are. I mean, things are kind of piled up, but there's just not a whole lot of wall space around. So I don't know what to do with FFOs. But anyway, so yeah. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. I'm thinking about what to do with that. Stitching the Land of Good Enough. Oh, enjoyed seeing your kid up. So that's my friend Pam. Yay, hi Pam. Enjoyed seeing your kid up projects. I'm guessing part 1 didn't upload. Yeah, sorry about that. It was nice seeing your face and wondering how Stitch-Con went. Yeah, the first trial corrupted, unfortunately. And I promise I'm talking about Stitch-Con, so you'll know. Um, she actually did a Zoom for Hawk Run, which is actually why I started that. I apologize. I wanted to do a Hawk Run for a while, but I'm gonna turn this sound off. Actually, I'll tell you what. All right, I apologize. Okay. I've wanted to do a Hawk Run for a while, and this was just a good excuse to actually get one started. So, and I told her I was gonna do a video today. So, see, I told you. I'm a man of my word, kinda. Anyway, these 20 stitches. Okay, he's the one, who actually did the Trans Unicorn, tapestry. Um, I believe somebody else actually drew it, and then I think he was the one who, put it, made it into a actual cross stitch. Um, and I believe he is correct. Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe he is correct on that one. Not, or I guess I could use they just in case. But anyway, just on your floss tube. Thank you so much for supporting Carrie and I, as well as all of our favorite trans orgs. Can't wait to watch more and see your progress. Thank you. I appreciate that. The only problem that I've had with this was my own problems of converting it to overdyed colors. I've been having nothing but fun actually stitching it. My problems have been my own. It has nothing to do with the pattern. And I've really been loving it, and I can't wait to see it done. So that's really. I have not been monogamous, but I've been close to monogamous. I've been working the most on the tapestry, the stitch along. I keep wanting to call it a tapestry, although it's not. Actually, no, it is a tapestry. Anyway, sorry, I digress. And you guys, obviously, I'll show you in a minute what it looks like. They also said, yes, congrats. The transgender community is here and we love you. Well, thank you. If there are other trans stitchers, oh, let me move this out of the way for you, cat. If there's like a Facebook or some other sort of group, can you tell me? Because I'm really kind of curious. Other than I guess you and I don't know any others. So if there are others, I would really like to know. But yeah, so let's see. It's a nerve-wracking thing coming out. But now you've got the power and the great momentum to be you. Thank you, and you've got me as a permanent trans mass cheerleader. Cool, awesome, same. So I definitely will work both ways there. So what pronouns you usually use? He, him would be nice. But a lot of people still use she, her. So I'm, not that. It's not that big of a deal. I apologize. I'm getting stared at over here. Yeah. So, yeah. So if I keep looking that direction, it's because these little kitty eyes are boring into my head. But anyway, but yeah. So yeah. If there are others and you know how to get in touch with, I would love to chat with you a little bit. If you could, I have an email listed below. If you could get in touch with that email, I would greatly appreciate it because I'd love to chat a little bit. But yeah, so that's actually super super cool. Um. All right, I thought there was one more, but I guess that is it. All right, cool. Because that's the last one I've got on my list there. So yeah, I think that was all the comments. If I missed one, I do apologize. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't come up on the list or didn't save it. So I'll double check on that later. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not really gonna do life updates just because that'll kind of all be into look at that face. Well, okay, you can't see her face, but anyway, that'll kind of all be in the whole trip thing. And apparently, she has decided to give me her butt. Thank you, cat. I appreciate it. Cats, what can you do? Avoid cats. So, there's no, obviously no FFOs. Oh, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I did have a finish. So, what happens is that Stitch-Con, um, and I think I knew about this before, but I didn't really think of much of it. They get to go up and ring a bell, and everybody claps for, which is really cool. And so, a couple people I was sitting with, after a while, we were getting a little bit of FOMO. So, one of my table mates and I, we decided, oh well, we're just gonna do a quick start and finish. And so I don't, because she had bought the pattern, so I apologize that I don't know what the pattern is. Um, it was it was a 4-piece pattern. It wasn't a JBW, but it was in one of those. It was like one of these small, you know, one of these small sets like that. And there were 4 of them for the 4 seasons. Um, and so if I can find it, I will try to put it below. So I apologize for that, but I did the summer one. Whoops, which was, there we go. Hey, hey, which was fun. There we go. And I did that with some of the, I forgot exactly which thread it was that I did it with. It was, I think it was maybe, I don't, Forest Deep, I believe. And this was on a 16 count ivory Ada that I actually found on the, I did it way too far over to the side, but I still have all this other stuff. So I can get a few more smalls off of it. I should have done this a lot further, a lot closer to the edge, but it's free, so, But yeah, so that was a very small excuse me, I'm sorry. A very small start and finish. Um Everything else I worked on were things that I had already started, so they are whips. Um so I guess let me go ahead and do my whips real quick, and then I'll do I want to do whips or want to do Stitch-Con first? Let's do the whips first, and then I'll do Stitch-Con. So, and I'll do these super quick, because there's only 3. So the first, since I was talking about it, is going to be the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So that last time I was just starting in on filling in the grass, and I am almost done filling in that grass over there. I was a bit distracted last night watching Hamilton. Big surprise. And so I probably could have got that finished if I hadn't been distracted. But yeah, so I've only got that one small bit, and then the haunted house will come here, and there's also a skeleton over here. I'm gonna put you over here since I have so much crap. And these other 2, I think I did a little bit of stitching on Hamilton at the con. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a very little bit. And just to remind you, this is Farmer Refuted from Hamilton. So it's just the singing parts over each other. Yeah, I actually did do a little bit. I can tell right here. Tell you what, I'll just, since I don't really have much, I just did the stars over here. There we go. And the DO. Is that, what is that? Oh, don't tell. Oh, don't let them lead you astray. Okay, I was like, what is it? What am I saying there? Yes, don't let them lead you astray. And also, hold on, I have this upside down. Let me turn this so you can read it. And I got this. Oh, where was it? I think this was a Bestitch Me. No, Friday Night. I don't remember if I changed that before. It says, "Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff." So I just thought that was kind of hilarious. Because, alien anal probes are always funny. Final one, the one I definitely got the most done. This head is just not cooperating today. It's because my hair is at a weird length where I can't pull it back, but it's just getting a little bit longer. But this is the Transcribed Tapestry. Say it is tapestry. I say that and all I can think of is Every time I say tapestry. Um, I forget which Indiana Jones movie it was. It was the second one, I think, where he talks about how they have many fine tapestries. If you get that, you're awesome. But anyway, so that's what it's supposed to look like. That's just my notes. As I said, I had problems with color converting this one, but that's what it's gonna look like. And I finally decided on a color to go around. So I had a color chosen, and then I did it in the wrong color, which means I didn't have enough of that color now. And then I decided, well, okay, let me do it in something different. I chose something, it was terrible. I had to undo that. And so this is why I was saying I had a problem with this. So I finally chose, I think this is Lagoon, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, Lagoon from Gast is what is finally going to be, it's, or his, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, a lot of white filling right there. So, but anyway, so yeah, that was, and, it's funny, people, and I was saying this at the convention, that people are like, oh, you won't get very much stitching. And I'm like, oh, come on, I'm going to sit down and stitch. You really, really do not get that much stitching done. I really thought they were like, oh, whatever. But yeah, no, they're actually right. You really don't get a whole lot of stitching done, which is okay. It's I had intended to go there to stitch, but just everything else that was going on, it's overwhelming. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and I'll do kind of a quick-ish recap of Stitch-Con. Um, so I did fly. I'm a very nervous flyer, so that was not particularly fun. So essentially, what happened is I went over to my parents' house the night before because they are super close to the airport, and since my husband was going to be at work, he wouldn't be able to take me. So okay, fine. So um, hang out with my parents, which was really fun. Had a nice dinner, and then in the morning, early in the morning, I headed to the local airport, and so it was a short flight, literally put an hour, but the actual time that you're in the air is about 20 minutes. You can drive there in 90 minutes, so that tells you, how short. But the problem is, of course, that because Charlotte is an hour and a half away, and they're the American hub, and then Atlanta is 2.5 hours away, and they're the Delta hub. You're not going to get a whole lot of direct flights out of our town. So you almost always have to fly either into Charlotte or into Hartsfield. And personally, I'm would much rather fly into Charlotte. Atlanta Hartsfield is just a mess. It's I think the busiest airport in the world, which is weird. I mean, I don't know why it should be the busiest in the world, but anyway. Um, so I flew up to Charlotte. That wasn't bad, and then the flight from Charlotte to, I want to say, Cincinnati, but it's really in Kentucky, which is weird. Um, is was about an hour, maybe. It wasn't so bad. So I didn't get any drinks or any snacks or anything on the way up, which is probably okay because my nerves were shot. So I was supposed to meet a couple people at the airport, and when I got to skeletons, a lot of fossils in there, which I do have pictures of. I'm gonna try to put some pictures up on Instagram. My Instagram is down below, so look for that in the next couple days. I will try to get pictures up of Stitch-Con, and I didn't take a whole lot of pictures at Stitch-Con because I was just so busy doing other things I didn't even think about it. But so um, yeah, but I'll try to put what pictures I have on Instagram. Um, so I was supposed to meet him, and so that was a little nerve wracking, but it actually worked out really well. We met up pretty quickly. The Cincinnati airport's pretty cool. It's very levelly. There's a lot of escalators up and down, which I was kind of surprised about. I thought it'd be a little flatter. Because Charlotte, I mean, it has some, but you know, I don't know. Cincinnati has like these little half levels, and I don't know. It was kind of a weird design, but I mean, it was easy enough to get around in. So no complaints there. Um, and of course, since I was flying out of a very small airport, um, the TSA was super fast that morning, which was nice. So we'll meet up, head to the hotel. I don't think she works for Keepsakes, but she is on staff at Stitch-Con. And I've known her for a while just because we do. I'm part of a Friday night Stitch thing online, and so she and I talked there a good bit, and um, we had already arranged that she was going to pick me up and kind of take me around. So that was Thursday, no, Wednesday. Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. Because Thursday the con actually started. So after she picked me up, we went to Skyline Chili. So I got myself some honest to God Cincinnati, three-way chili. It was the spaghetti, the chili, and the cheese and the onion. So four-way. Five-way would be with the beans, but like eh. But anyway, so I got myself a Skyline chili, which was yummy. And then we went to Jungle Jim's where I got way too much stuff. I got some stuff for me. I got some stuff for my husband. I got him some HP sauce from England and some dark chocolate Tim Tams from Australia, and I think some dark chocolate digestives from England. I think hope it's still good. Um, Wensleydale cheese from England. So Wensleydale cheese is really good. It's kind of a hard crumble. It's not super hard. It's a semi-hard crumbly cheese, and it's almost always done either like with mango, with blueberry, with pomegranate, with something else in it. We were only able, which is good, but I was looking for it by itself. I only found it here once in town, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I haven't been able to find it since. So at Jungle Jim's, they had some Wensleydale with stuff in it, but they actually had just Wensleydale. Um, and so it's had to drive and fly. So I hope it's still good. Um, so I need to try it. But anyway, so yeah, that was actually really cool. So that was something for both of us. And then I got some stuff for me, like I said, teas and stuff. And again, if you guys are curious, I can show you guys. I don't mind making a second short video. Um, Also, just because I'm squirreling, um, I just noticed that I got an email that my Sips by box is on the way. I have filmed my old one and I just forgot to post it, so you'll probably see that posting sometime this week. I'll put it to be posted. I get two Sips by boxes things close to back. So sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, so I think that was the only place we went. I was trying to think. Yeah, I think we went back to the hotel then and just kind of hung out. Um, and then Thursday was the first day of the con, and and I'm sure you guys have probably seen pictures by now. So really, all it is it's the basement of the convention center, Sheridanville Convention Center, and it's just one gigantic room. So you walk in, and it's just this huge room of just tables, with obviously with walking space between, and just all these people just sitting everywhere. And so um it was overwhelming because I had never been to anything like this before. I mean, my illness kind of had a little. I don't even call it. It's not even a retreat. It was just a little um, kind of get together thing. But I've never been to anything like this. Huh. So yeah, I mean, I literally stopped in the middle of the doorway, and I just had to stand there for a few minutes, just kind of watching and taking it all in, because it's just kind of sensory overload. So eventually found a table and hung out with a few people. Um, I ended up, I think I was at table. So the first tables were like at the front where the podium was, and then the numbers went to the back. So I was towards the back. I think I was at 47. I think there were maybe, I don't know, maybe 55 tables or so, something like that. So I was towards the back, which is fine. That wasn't a problem. Um, and so around two walls were the brag tables, and again, I had known about that, but I'd also had a very limited amount of space, so I had decided. And then against part of one wall was the freebie table, which I kept going to and putting stuff back and taking stuff. So I didn't. I ended up putting a lot of stuff back from the freebie table. A, because of space again, and B, because I'm like, okay, so what of this am I actually going to stitch? And I wanted to give other people chances. I mean, there was some crazy stuff. There was a memorabilia that was, I mean, it was open obviously, and there were just all sorts of crazy things at that table. Um, I put a lot of old magazines. I must have taken like 10, 20 pounds worth of magazines with me. So I was like, oh, okay, well, 50 pounds was the limit. I think I was at 46. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, when I go home, I'm not going to have, that much stuff. Yeah, I was right at the limit when I left. I mean, the lady was like, yeah, you're right at the limit. I'm like, oops. So, yeah, that was kind of close. And I don't think it was all stitching stuff. I think a lot of it, there were some things from Pittsburgh as well. But anyway, so, um, I'm not gonna take too long, hopefully, because I know this is already running long. But so I'll just say overall, it was so I'd already met Sheila before, but I never met Gary or Ronnie or EJ. So and they are just they were super cool, and I actually got to hang out with them a little bit. And I just I mean I don't even know all the people I hang out with, and I apologize. I mean, just my mind is overwhelmed with everybody that I got to hang out with, and just all the cool people. um and so there was also a late night stitching room, which I only went to once because it was in a different hotel. But there was also kind of late night stitching at our hotel too. So I ended up doing that a couple of nights, which was fun. They also had yes, this is funny. So they had an exchange, right? And so I thought I had brought everything. I had the bag, had some extra stuff inside of it, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, and it's sitting right behind me, I had forgotten the actual stitch itself. So I was not able to um uh participate in the exchange, which really just that really bummed me out for a while. But I mean, the people who were there were can't at all. So I'm disappointed in myself, but you know, honestly, with the quality of some of the things that some people that I saw, it might be for the best because what I had was very small and not all that exciting. So I mean, probably some I would have enjoyed it, but um it may be for the best because I wouldn't want the person who got mine to be disappointed in it. But I'll never know. So it is what it is. Um, so there were unfortunately a couple of minor things that were not good. Not for me personally. But one person at my table. And I am so sorry I cannot remember your name. She was dealing with some family stuff that whole weekend, and I mean, she was just determined to not let it ruin her weekend, despite it being something that was taking up a good bit of her time. And more power to her. I don't think I could have done it. She was really, really good about not letting that dominate all of her thoughts and still having fun at Stitch-Con. I apologize, this had to drive me nuts right now. So, you know, more power to her. She did great. That's her personal thing, you know. But yeah, it was just not fun. Also, I didn't ask if I could say her name, so I won't. But my roomie, who was super awesome, um, also had some personal things going on. And unfortunately couldn't make it all the way through the con, which I felt awful about. Um, because I feel kind of bad because I wasn't sitting at her table, but her table was pretty full, and I think she knew the people she was sitting with, so that's which is fine. But no, I felt really really awful that she had to leave early because I got really lucky because you never know when you don't know a person before you room with them, you never really know how it's going to be. She's a great roomie, and I don't know if she's watching this, but if you do want to come back next year, I will be more than happy to be your roomie again. Because you were great, and I feel bad that we didn't actually hang out more than we did. Um, so I apologize for that, but I mean she was very very cool, and I hated that those two things happened. Um, but I mean, unfortunately, Stitch-Con is great. So so yeah, they had exchanges. They did have some raffles, which was going towards the raffle money went towards the school district that the Sharonville Convention Center was in. Also, Keepsakes is in it, and the lady who runs Keepsakes, her children went through that school system, and I think we raised it was $4,000 or $5,000 each weekend. B beat us by like $50, so yay, good for you, B. But I think each weekend raised like $4,000 or $5,000, so it was a lot of money. Um, I think it was maybe about 4,500 a week, 4,200 each weekend, something like that. But it was a really great amount. And there were also door prizes. I did wear a thing, but that's cool. There were some really pretty baskets. I mean, they looked super professional, and so each of the people on the staff like made a basket. Um, and oh yeah, I also forgot to say that they're the Stitchy bus. So it's a it's exactly what you think it would be. It's an old school bus painted, I believe it was red and white, and it was going between the convention center and Keepsakes, which is in downtown Sharonville, which is like it would be like little road, like small roads and old buildings, and just that cute, quaint, old southern town, downtown sort of look to it, which is I was actually surprised. I didn't think that's what it would look like, but yeah, I mean it's an adorable little downtown, and I actually hate that I didn't get more time to walk around because there were some restaurants and shops and places that I think would have been interesting to look at. But of course, not having my own transportation, the only bad thing was that there are train tracks that go through town, and so that we had to wait for a couple. Well, we had to wait for one train, and then we went around another one, and so that made the trip a lot longer than it should have been. But I mean, there's nothing they can do. That's just you're literally at the whim of the trains that are going through. So, as apparently there's a huge Ford plant. I think it's a transmission plant there, and so now that's one of the things. And I know there's other companies that were there as well. So, so yeah, so that was interesting. Keepsakes is it's hard to explain. It's like in a really old, it's like 100-year-old house, and so everything is creaky and wood, and it's kind of claustrophobic. I'm not stuff on the walls, and there's not a whole lot of room to move around. Um, I unfortunately did not get to meet 310. I'm not gonna lie, I really really wanted to meet 310, but I think she was in the basement. Too many people, which I absolutely understand. But sorry, I should say 310 is their uh shop cat. She is a black cat, and They even have like a few little 310 things. I think they have like a 310 Ort jar, which was tempting, but I did not because I have an Ort jar. Isn't that right? See, I have my own little void over here who's being very cute and sleepy. Hold on. It's my own little 310. There she is. Hi. So, she's sleepy. I don't want to incur the wrath of waking up the cat. But anyway, so there was an upstairs, as well. And the upstairs was kind of, each little room was themed. So there's like a Halloween Christmas room, and then there was a room with just like all flosses. Wow, just flosses I'd never heard of before. It was super cool. I ended up coming up there not as bad as I could have. Um, what the main room, I guess, what would have been the living room, they had set up as a cutting room. So they had all the excuse me, they had all the fabrics, and then they had a large table. They were very busy, and the line was fine though. I mean, because you would talk to people in line and get to know them and hang out. So it was no problem waiting. Um, and that was at the Sherville Convention Center, which was not only keepsakes, but other people were doing trunk shows. So they had other companies there. I don't know. I didn't get a list of who the trunk shows were, but so I did get stuff from both of those. Um, so I guess I'll tell you what, before I go on to my trip to Pittsburgh, I guess I'll show you some stuff. I'll kind of go through it sort of quick. Um, and then I'll give you kind of some final thoughts. So a couple things that I got from the um I'll do the freebie table first. So I got a few things like that's the bumblebee, oops, cat sampler, some small things, a couple other bee things like a there we go, be happy, be stitching, whole latte love. I know there's a whole series of these, which I'm planning on doing eventually. I'm probably gonna do this one for my mom. Wine a bit, you'll feel better, because that's funny. Because wine's always funny. Lizzie Kate pumpkin sale, because pumpkins are always cute. That's a trucking series, which is somebody brought me a Bendy Stitchy, which was very cool. So somehow I've managed to not do a Bendy Stitchy yet. And then two I found out somebody who was from South Carolina. I'm actually a huge University of South Carolina fan, and I was not expecting to find anything from USC. There we go. In Ohio. So that was a very cool, like, oh my gosh, it's like a little bit of home. So yeah, these are definitely gonna get stitched, absolutely, because then I'm probably gonna change the color of the fabric, change the color of the words, so that I can make the cat a black cat. Let's gallop again. This is gonna be, oops, I'm gonna do this one for a friend of mine who loves horses. So some of these I actually have gotten, okay, throwing them around apparently. So a couple of these I have actually gotten to stitch for other people. Welcome Kittens, got some black cats there. What else? Oh yeah, please. Well, that one has the pattern, so I'm not gonna worry about that. And the last one, again, also for my best friend in Pittsburgh, who he loves frogs. So I'm gonna do that. And he has seen it. I did show it to him. So, although honestly, by the time I actually I tried not to get magazines, but there were a couple I had to find. So I grabbed that from the because tigers, that's really cool. I grabbed that from the table, and then I grabbed a whole box of, like, it was a bag of them, and I didn't really know what they were. And a couple of these, are nursery and all that kind of stuff that I'm not, this one actually has a white tiger, which is cool. This is actually why I got it, because on the cover, it's got an otter. Not the meerkats over here, but the otter over here. See, there we go, the otter. But I did not. This was hiding in there. It is a Stitcher's Journey from Blackbird Designs. I'm like, oh well, wow. I mean, and there weren't things. Nothing in there blew me away. But I know that Blackbird Designs are those kind of things are kind of hard to find. So that was a really cool kind of rare thing. And there were a couple things in there that were like, I might do those. No, I should have done those first. Oh well, that's all right. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, so let me show you the things. Now this I did not actually buy at Keepsakes. This was I bought this at my LNS before, but like I said, I didn't think. So this was a little tiny little bee thing that was sitting where they were cutting the fabric. So of course I couldn't resist that. And that was done next to the fabrics. So I don't know what fabric or color I'm going to use for that. I'll probably use something nice and variegated. You're going to notice a theme here. This, I believe I got at the annex. This is the bee sampler. I'm not going to do it as a roll, but oh, you know what? Actually, I think I got this online. I apologize, but anyway, and this one I did definitely get in the annex. This is what is the actual name of it? Oh, Love Bugs, which I need to explain that in a minute, but of course the bee at the top. I mean, I'd probably end up doing all three of them, but the bee at the top is cutest. There's probably cat hair on this. There's probably dog hair on it now because my friend's dog. So this I actually bought to to give to the lady who runs my LNS. This is 100% her. So yeah. So I'm not gonna let her know about that one. She doesn't watch this, so we're good. Then a couple of Gary would be proud of me. A couple of Halloweeny things, dark shadows, which are really cool, and Cricket collection. Two familiars. So you got the kitty and the bird. And then hooked on tea, which actually has a couple little teeth in the fabric. So put that over to the side here. Put that to the side. This one was at the annex. This is a quarter. This is a fat quarter of 14 count Ada. Oh my God! Look at that, pretty purple. Isn't that just all sorts of pretty? No idea what I'm gonna do with it, but it's really pretty. Now this was at Keepsakes itself. It was supposed to be, was that 14 or 16? That is 14. Okay, anyway. So this is also 14 count. It was supposed to be a fat quarter, but the quarter was like, super skinny, so it's kind of a fat quarter and a half, so she kind of gave it to me for a different price. But it is Salt Rock, by Color and Cotton. So just a nice neutral. That's pretty close to its color. Again, it's just a nice neutral color. And then these two were also at Keepsakes. These are both 16 count. This is called Witch's Brew. I think this is by XJU Design, which I've never actually used any of their stuff. But oh my gosh, look at the... You're not really getting a good color of the purple, but it's a nice purple with gray splotches. Definitely something Halloweeny. And then the last one's also XJU. It's called Jack-O-Lantern. I couldn't read it before. Another 16. There we go. There you're seeing it better. The orange with the, a light orange with the gray splotches. Again, another Halloweeny thing. So, all that was, keepsake stuff. Oh, and they had accidentally overcharged me for some of the fabric. So, as the difference in price, I got a Q-snap, which is always good. So, that's why I had that extra Q-snap there. And real quick, a couple things did come in the mail while I was gone. So, I'll go through these super duper quick. The classic Colorworks, colors. So we got Little Sprout, which is a nice, mossy green, light mossy green. Prickly Pear, which is a really, oh, there we go. You can actually see the, variegation. Beautiful variegated pink. Strawberry Parfait, which is a darker pink. You can't really see it. It's not actually variegated. Now this one's pretty cool. Let me see if I can put something behind it, maybe. There you go. That's it right there. Orangina. So it is. Sorry about my terrible nails here. Pink and orange. So that's a pretty cool color. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but a Finley Gold, which is just a very light gold color. And then the last one, which is my favorite, is Cashmere. It is a you can't really see. It's a pale blue purple, which is very, very pretty. So that's actually super cool. So those are my Crazy Annie's flosses of the month there. Also, my Color and Cotton was Garden Path, 16 count. So it's actually pretty close to that salt color. Nice, again, a nice neutral, which is great. That's exactly what I need. This was my this, and again, it's another nice neutral. It's actually really, really close. It's just a shade darker. You can't even tell. It's just a shade darker than the Color and Cotton. So some really nice basic basic stuff that I have here. Also from the Stitch Me, I got 2 hanks of a really pretty. That's pretty good. It's black to gray. So this is 100 yards together, I believe. I believe these are 50 yards each. So that'd be nice to do like a ink circles or something of that sort. And this was from a retreat in a box. I didn't get the whole retreat in the box. This was an extra thing that they had, but I thought it was really pretty. It was a specialty. Okay, hold on. This is not gonna work. A specialty thread for Pride Month. It's called Pride. That's only 8 yards, but I love the rainbowy colors. There you go. So that's really pretty. And then, oops, let me put it back in here. And then the last thing, actually, not quite the last thing. There we go. I got this from Vicky Stitch and Button, a little project bag. Cat hair. Just go to her Facebook, and she's got all sorts of things listed there, which are great. And she has a new one, and I don't remember what it says. I apologize, Vicky, but it is very funny. So put that over to the side here, and there we go. So I got a tiny. Okay, whatever. I'll get that later. I got a little bag here that I'm not actually going to go all the way through. These were other little tiny freebies that I got. This was on each table, and a bunch of people, grabbed them on the last day. So I grabbed one from not my table, but a different table. Somebody had already taken ours. Oh well, that's alright. So a little thing, but a lot of people were giving away a lot of really cool things. I actually had my and I think I showed them my business cards that had and I made about 50 little bee needle minders. Most of them got there. I think maybe 45 made it. And so I gave those away and ended up giving away all of them plus a couple extra cards. But one person, and I apologize, I don't know who gave away what on this. Oh, actually, hold on. Remember, this is polka dot stitch. There we go. It's got a little sticker on the back. But it's one of these where you hold the floss, which is great. So this is just felt. And so the static electricity, I think, holds it on here, which is really cool. I'm not going to go through everything in here. I got some bobbins. There we go. Somebody gave me, this is a needle holder. It's got bees on it. What else have I got in here? Oh gosh. There are a bunch of needle drops. Needle drops. Oh, did I buy that? I don't know what that's from. Sorry. Another little bee needle holder. Some sunshine stitcher thread drops. Let's see, somebody from Long Island. It's a New York needle threader. What else is in here? I mean, this is literally like, yeah. Um, oh, this floss is actually something I bought, but um, and there are a bunch of these are like all needle minders that I've traded for. Some of them are bees, some of them are just random things. So I mean, it's just a little bit of everything. Um, and so yeah, like I said, I cannot go through all of that. That would just take forever, and we're already at an hour. But anyway, so I'll do a quick wrap up and trip to Pennsylvania, like really super quick. This Stitch-Con was amazing. I am already raring to go for next year, and I am probably gonna drive it. It's about 7 hours, seven and a half. So it's very drivable. My limit's about nine and a half hours. That's usually about where I can draw the line for how long I can go in a day. Oh yeah, also I got some jungle gems. Forgot to do that because what does it say? Be positive. Be amazing. There we go. So yeah, flying, and see the limitations of not having a car at the convention because um there's not a whole lot when it comes to restaurants and things to do. Where it is there's not a whole lot of businesses around. So you either have to get something delivered to you, eat what little is in the hotel, or get somebody to drive you somewhere. And people were willing to drive. I mean, people were carpooling to places. So, as long as you know somebody who doesn't mind, that's not a big deal. But this being my first one, I didn't really know anybody. Other than Tiffany, obviously. I didn't really. I didn't ask anybody to drive me anywhere other than her. So but yeah, so I think that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing next year. So if I do end up going to Pittsburgh again, it's gonna be a long drive because it's 7 hours to Sharonville, and then 4 hours to Pittsburgh, and then about 8.5 hours from Pittsburgh to home because it's further east, but it's also further north. So it ends up kind of you know, bouncing out, unfortunately. Lifts. I mean, they'll have like houses here, and then there's like a house like up here. I mean, it's crazy, and unless you actually go there, it's really hard to explain like how hilly Pittsburgh is. And if you don't have a car that can go up hills, like my first car overheated when I went to um oh, where were we going? We were going to Cherokee, North Carolina, and you kind of have to go over the mountains and then back down. Yeah, my car overheated on the way down there. My first car, I should say, not the one I have now. And if I had had that car in Pittsburgh, it never would have. It would have lasted 6 months. Uh, obviously, not to mention the snow up there, but so yeah, I mean, I cannot stress how hilly, and not even hilly. It's more than hills. It's like how mountainy Pittsburgh is. I had no clue. It's a really cool town. It's a very old town. There's lots of train tracks, lots of super old houses. I mean, just like it's really cool. And a lot of it is kind of dirty and kind of run down, and there are bad parts of town. Thankfully, they don't live in a bad part of town, but they live in a decent neighborhood. Oh, like an older neighborhood. Um, and so minutes to get there. Not necessarily because of traffic, although traffic was an issue, but just because of things are like really spread out. It's like it's weird. Everything is compacted together, but it's a lot of housing. So to get to like, and everything is like you can't get there in a straight line because of the mountains. You have to like switch back and do all these crazy things. So it takes a lot longer to get to somewhere than you think it would, even if it's not all that far away. um and so that was interesting. We did actually go through. They live southwest of the actual city. Their mailing address is still Pittsburgh. um Although I can't think of the town, the like Scott Township or something like that. Anyway, there's like townships and and boroughs that are like all around. Even though their mailing address is Pittsburgh, but they live kind of southwest. But we did actually go through the city a few times. So I got to go across the Pitt Bridge, and we got to go through some tunnels, which are really cool. 'Cause, I love tunnels. They're like but to me, it was really cool. Um, I got to go over some of those big, huge steel bridges, and I got to see, um, like like Three Rivers Stadium and all that good stuff. So I got some pictures of that, and we went to the Pittsburgh Zoo, which was really amazing. They had to take one path. Um, so it's the flow is really good because everybody will be going that particular direction. It is really hilly, but there are lots of places to stop. And the animal selection was really cool. They had a lot of really cool animals. And so at the end of the zoo is the excuse me, is the aquarium. So it's one price for both. And they had, oh my god, they had sea otters. So they literally had to pull me away from the sea otters. And it's like they were as close to they were like that close. Because the only thing separating come on. There, thank you, camera. The only thing separating me from them was plexiglass, and they were right up against that plexiglass, and so I got some great pictures and video. Again, I will try to put some on Instagram, so definitely look for that. Come on now, can you focus? There we go. That's better. Anyway, and so yeah, they had to pull me away from the otters, of course. So yeah, I mean, if you live anywhere close to the Pittsburgh area, I would definitely recommend it. It's like $14 to get in. It's not the cheapest, but it's a pretty decent sized zoo. It's something that'll take you several hours to go all the way through. And so yeah, it was great. The polar bear exhibit was super super cool. That was fun. But yeah, so that was really cool. And so obviously I flew out of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to Charlotte, Charlotte to home again. Um, they actually gave me a drink and um, pretzels from Pittsburgh to Charlotte this time, which was nice. Maybe it was just because it was early in the day. I don't know. I was hoping for Biscoff, but you know, but nope. But and those flights weren't bad really. I didn't have a whole lot of time between both of my connections. I think I had like an hour and a half for one, like an hour for the other. Um, and so that was a little stressful because um, we were about half hour late leaving from Greenville. The very when I was going up to the con, um, and so I just kept looking at the times like I have a connection, but I did get there. I ended up power walking because I was going from like Concourse E to Concourse C. I'm like, and it was the same way on the other route. Um, this has been a comedy of errors, and you're thinking, but it wasn't with the plane. So it was something going on with the headset of one of the guys down on the floor, and then there was something wrong with they couldn't pull the gate away, and it took us. It literally we were sitting in that plane probably half an hour. And it's literally a 20-minute flight. I'm thinking, "Ugh, we could have been home by now." And again, I'm a nervous flyer, so, I really, really just wanted to get home. And so, that was a little nerve-wracking. But overall, the flights were pretty steady. There was a little bit of turbulence, but nothing super bad. The worst, I think, was going from Greenville to Charlotte. When we were flying into Charlotte, as we were landing, we started doing this, and that's never good when you're right about to land. I mean, like this was we were like going like that. I'm like, but other than that, that little and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like super bad. It was just a little bit, but it was enough to make you go, enough to clutch your pearls a little bit. But but I mean, honestly, even as a nervous flyer, who had to take some some stuff to calm them down, which I don't think worked, but that's another story. But it really, the flight was not that bad. There was not a whole lot of bad turbulence. Um, Granted, the flights were early-ish in the day, which I think is usually better. The worker, I'm like, this is interesting. And just as we were breaking through the bottom part of the clouds, because we had clouds, then we broke through a little bit, and then we had some more clouds when we were getting close. And then, like, when we broke through those clouds, it's like, oh, there's the rain, because I was just waiting for it to rain. And yeah, it was raining right when we came to Greenville, but not bad, because we had that, was it Claudette? I believe it was tropical depression or tropical storm Claudette, which of course was coming in right as I was, literally as I was flying in. It ended up, I mean, obviously because it had come up from the Gulf, and it was coming up through all that land. It didn't have a whole lot of punch when it hit us. I think it was maybe a depression by then. But the day and a half before I was going home, 2 days before, I kept watching. I'm like, oh, come on. I cannot have this. I'm like, I don't want to fly into a storm. I'm a nervous flyer. But it ended up being a whole lot of nothing. I mean, it was a good bit of rain, but nothing. The wind wasn't bad. The landing, other than it being rainy, was pretty good. It was a fairly, not too bad of a landing there. Um, so, yeah. I guess that's really about it. Oh, I did go ahead. Any more details? Send me a comment. Send me an email. I'm more than willing to talk more about Stitch-Con, or even about Pennsylvania if you want me to. I just didn't want to make this too long, which it is already pretty long. Um, but yeah, me, I'm always willing to chat, if you couldn't tell. But let me do the other weeks super fast here. Um, I can't believe I hadn't done them before. But my stitching site of the week is going to be the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which of course will be down below. The non-stitchy website is going to be what I like. I like to read, obviously and stitch. So sometimes I'll have movies or something going when I'm stitching. Sometimes I just want it to be quiet. So a lot of times I'll do like these um, you know like white noise for studying or rain for studying, whatever. And I found rainy evening at Baker Street, ambient background noise to study or sleep by. And so that's again, that's like down there, and it's just kind of some general sounds. It's nice. It's nice background music when you're trying to read or doing something you want noise, but not something you need to concentrate on. So that's the kind of stuff I like. And then the bee fact. Although bears do like honey, they prefer to eat the bear larva. So just that was kind of interesting. Not exactly a bee fact, but kind of. I have some links below. I did not link to, obviously I did not link to everything, that I got. Just a few. I just listed a few of the basic ones. If there's something that you want to know about any of these, uh, excuse me, I'm sorry, any of these things that I showed you, any of the patterns or anything, excuse me again, um, please just tell me. I read and respond to every single one of them. So, definitely give me a like if you don't mind. And subscribe. It definitely helps the YouTube algorithms, which I don't understand how that all works. All I know is that likes and subscribes do help me out. Um, obviously I'm not monetizing this. I'm not nearly popular enough, so that's not the problem. It's not popularity. It's just that I think it helps my video get seen by more people, which is always good. So, if somebody likes me, great, awesome. Um, but yeah, I guess that's about it. So yeah, and again, I love comments, so just comment if you want to. I guess that's about it. So, I don't know that I'm gonna have any specialty ones this week, other than the T1, uh, the the Sips by box that I should have posted up like 3 weeks ago. I think that's probably gonna be the only specialty video I do this week, unless you guys want me to talk about jungle gyms or about something else, about Stitch-Con or whatever else. So that is about it, I guess. So I will talk to you guys next week.